Hello guys, it's me Simo Urahara, and in this video we'll talk about one of the most important meetings that took place after the Battle of Yhwach and Ichigo. A meeting we have never seen before, meeting of the leaders of noble families, which included Yoriichi, Byakuya and Chokinada. A meeting in which there was a talk about Ichigo and the possibility of him being the new leader of Shiba family, and Urahara's knowledge of the truth about Ryo. So first of all guys, when it comes to holding meetings in Bleach, especially the Shinigami side, all we have is the meeting of the Gotei 13 as well as the meeting of the Rome 46. Of course, the members of Rome 46 are from the nobles of Sereitei. Nobles from various families lived in that central city. But there is a meeting of higher status, is the meeting of the leaders of the great noble families. And this meeting is of a very high level, to the point that Rome 46 made a special law to make that meeting happen. This meeting was held for many years by the meeting of all the 5 leaders, the leader of the Kuchiki, Shohin, Tsunayashiro, and the unknown family, as well as the Shiba family. However, Shiba a long time ago was expelled, so this meeting continued to be held without them. And there is an important thing about this meeting. Rome 46 enacted a law preventing the 4 leaders from meeting all in one place, fearing that they will be killed in assassination or in an unexpected disaster. Therefore, what is allowed is the presence of 3 leaders, not 4. And thus, in that meeting, only Chokinada, Byakuya and Yoriichi were present, and the leader of the 4th family was not present. In other words, according to the novel, the 4th family members are present, and its leader is present, but he didn't appear. Do they also exist in Sereitei or somewhere else? Nobody knows. Do they really have anything to do with the hell? We don't know. The important thing is that Kubo and Narita deliberately didn't mention the name of that family for reasons that no one knows. And on the other hand, the one who called this meeting is Chokinada, the new leader of the family who eliminated the senior leaders of his family in order to take over that position. So Yoriichi, who came on behalf of her brother, the new leader, as well as Kuchiki Byakuya, they had some doubts about Chokinada's intention. Does he want to kill them or is something else? Chokinada, as usual, started the conversation by trying to provoke Byakuya about the issues related to Rukia and Hisana, before he moving on to say that what happened in the last Quincy War is not their fault or the fault of the Gotei 13, but rather the fault of Zero Squad that allowed Yhwach to break through the Royal Palace, as well as the fault of Ryo himself, who didn't act to protect the world from that disaster. However, Ichigo didn't care about all these things, but rather asked about the real reason for contacting her and Byakuya. Chokinada told them that the reason for their meeting was to bring up the possibility of the Shiba family returning to the ranks of the great families, thus returning to the Big 5 as before. And as it mentioned in the novel, the last branch of the Shiba family in Sereitei was with Isshin Shiba. And with Isshin's leaving from the world of the Soul Society, and all the rest of this family were expelled from Sereitei. So Chokinada wanted to bring this family back into the ranks of the great family again. And he justified his will by saying that what Isshin has done, it made the last branch of the Shiba family expelled from the Sereitei. But what happened after the end of the war and how Ichigo, the son of Isshin, was the main reason for the defeat of Yhwach, and therefore his achievement is enough to bring this family back to the Sereitei. Apparently Chokinada wanted to let the family back through Ichigo. Did he really want him to be the new leader of the Shiba family? Or just in a formal way? But this idea basically was unrealistic, and this was confirmed whether by Byakuya or Yoriichi, that Ichigo is not the type that cares about these matters. This is also the same answer I gave to some fans who wonder why Ichigo didn't become, for example, a captain in the Gotei 13. In principle, Ichigo can be a captain as long as he is a Shinigami and has a Bankai, and although he is hybrid, but he can be captain, especially after the new policy of the Gotei 13, which allowed the rest of the Vizard who has the power of Hollows to join the Gotei 13 again. But as Byakuya and Yoriichi told Chokinada, Ichigo isn't the type to make such commitments. So this is what Chokinada understood as well, but the latter offered another option. which I personally considered a strange choice. He said, why don't we register then the sisters of Ichigo, that they are the leaders of the family, and it's not necessary for them to do any work, but only that it should be a formality. Yorichi was surprised how Tokinada had gotten so intrusive into the Ichigo family, but Tokinada told them his desire from all of this comes to make all the 5 great family on his side, because he believes that their alliance will make them in a rank parallel to Ryo himself, as well as stronger than the Rome 46. Thus, Tokinada said that if he obtained Ryo's approval, the power of the nobles would be the same as Ryo. Of course, here the conversation between the three will go to a very important topic, so that when Tokinada mentioned his desire to return to the Shiba family, he mentioned Ryo's name and how he needs his consent. But here Byakuya is going to tell Tokinada that Ryo has never given this consent to anyone before. Tokinada here will tell him, or will tell them, that it is true that, and for that it can be said that Ryo in the end cannot give any approval for anything. Thus what Tokinada wants is that a new free-willed king should be present in order to agree to such things. Thus the heir of the former Ryo will be considered from the past, so that there will be a new king and next to him the leaders of the 5 great families that will rule over the 3 realms. And when Yorichi overhears Tokinada's words about Ryo being unable to make any decision he wants to, and Yorichi replies that she now understands why Tokinada chose her over her younger brother, because she was the one who saw the truth about Ryo. And indeed, that's what happened. Yorichi, when she was with Ichigo and the rest, she saw Ryo and how the hands and the feet were cut off, and that he was a helpless being without any power. And here Tokinada's response is the last thing we saw in that meeting, and it was very important. So that he told her that she had already seen Ryo's condition and how he was, but she didn't know the first condition he was in. And he added, however, Urahara Kisuke should be aware of this fact. And thus, this gives us guys 2 important things. Urahara Kisuke knew from the beginning what Ryo was and what he looked like. There is no doubt that these words with Aizen Sosuke go in this way. The other important thing is that even Yorichi, who is the closest person to Kisuke, seems not to know this fact. And this thing explains that Urahara Kisuke has some secrets, or he knows something that no one else might know. Also, I found the idea of someone of the Shiba family becoming a new leader something interesting, inside the Sereitei. I said Ichigo is not a choice because of his character, although Yorichi said it if it was for the sake of the entire Shiba household, he may accept. But I think Kukaku being the new leader, it would be something cool. So guys, what do you think about all of this? Tell me in the comments and see you in my next video.